Everyone, happy Thursday here at Ball 4 podcast with to my left I got Lira. I'm Gus Rico, my boy Lira.
Hey, how are you guys doing? Welcome back. Another episode.
Episode 4.
Episode 4, man. It's gone by fast. The whole month of May, honestly, it's gone fast, but we've had great guests. And what else to finish it off with for the month of May with our guest here to the right. You know, we let him introduce himself right here.
Thomas Cassidy, baseball coach and athletic director at Calabasas High School.
All right. Yeah, we got Thomas Cassidy here, head coach at Calabasas /AD. We'll get into how you manage both. I would love to know how you manage both because I got, a couple of people at Birmingham that would want to, probably following some footsteps here. All right, Thomas, why don't you tell our fans here a little bit about yourself?
Grew up in the San Fernando Valley, played high school baseball
818.
at Chatsworth High School, then played with this guy over here at Valley. And then shortly after that, got into coaching, got my degree at CSUN, coached Calabasas for a year, then bounced over. I was a lower level guy at Harvard Westlake for 4 years before going back over to Calabasas for the head job. Did that for a few years, took a little break, coached some golf. Came back as the assistant, and then took back over as the head guy 2 years ago. So a little bit of everything.
We left that out.
Yeah, we let
The golf? Dude, that was probably the most fun year. You play free golf every day.
Well, how similar is the coaching to golfing to baseball?
You don't coach in golf. You just get to play golf.
Oh,
they
all
all got their swing coaches, and you might talk a little bit of course management, but other than that,
It's kind of like baseball. They got the hitting coaches or pitching
yeah,
coaches.
that too. Yeah, you're right.
Come on now.
You're right, but you don't get to play golf when you're the baseball coach. So.
Man, that's awesome. So, yeah, man. So 818 kid, guy. Let's get into Chatsworth. First of all, how did you end up there?
Well, my home school is Canoga, and
Got it. That's set enough.
Yeah, their program wasn't thriving at the time, and I actually had ended up at Lawrence Middle School in 8th grade there, right around the corner, and a lot of guys from my club team were heading over there, and obviously their program speaks for itself. So
you get to Chatsworth. We're gonna fast forward a little bit, and I mean it's a powerhouse. Well, it was a powerhouse. It still is. It always will be.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got some names there that we can name forever here. I mean, first of all, you played for Tommy Osborne, one of probably the greatest of all time. And you go and you were part of 2 national titles?
Yeah.
2 natties, right? Couple city.
Yeah.
And we're not going to talk about 05 here.
Hey, 05.
All right. So, I mean, how was that? How was, being part of 2 natties?
I mean, it was awesome. Obviously, I think Coach is the best ever, and, to have that experience playing for him and the rest of his staff, and then, obviously the teammates that I had, all the guys that went on to big league careers and college careers and all that. So just fortunate to be a part of that. It was a blast. Kind of one of those things when you're in the midst of it, like, you feel like it's never going to end, and
Right.
You're never going to lose and all of that. So,
Wow, damn.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, at times
Chatsworth mentality.
it really felt like that at times. Like
It did feel like that, but the opposite. Walking into Chatsworth, I'll be very honest. It's like, what are we, like, we're not going to upset anybody. Like, what are we doing here right now? Like, really?
Yeah, Coach had it going pretty good at that point.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Well, yeah, not going into, like, Chatsworth, you going into, was it, my thing, I'm 27, right? So I don't know. Before you got there, was it a powerhouse already? Or was it becoming one?
Yeah, no, I mean, Coach had a ton of success through the 90s, titles in 90 and 99, 01. And then the 02 team, my freshman year, they didn't end up winning a city title, but that was kind of the national recognition. That was the first team that got to #1 in the country and really put Chatsworth on a national stage and allowed, that pathway for the next couple
Right.
groups to be able to get that recognition.
Okay. So then now going into it, where it's the winner mentality, right? Like we don't believe we're gonna lose. Like, how good is that to feel to be part of that type of culture?
I mean, it's awesome, and that's the culture, and it's not like an arrogant thing. It was just the preparation. You know, no one outworks Coach on preparation and the practices that he ran. Like, there wasn't anything that was going to come up in a game that we weren't prepared for.
Hold on a second, taking notes here.
Right. So I think it was just his preparation and the mental toughness that he built into us that really prepared us for all that.
Yeah, and that's, you know, and as a player, you know, and that kind of, when you go through that and you understand, you learn from the coach, that type of coach, right? Not only do you, when you become a coach, you kind of have a head start already to what a foundation to build from. It's like, damn, now I was a player, you're there, you're going through it, you're winning, you know it's working.
Right.
Now, when you become that coach, what do you do to try to transfer that over as what you went through as a player, but now to other players?
I think that's a really good question. I think I originally tried to do that, and I don't think you can replicate those guys. And so, like, I think you have to learn, and you take what you learn from them, and then you got to find your own style. But just the couple mentalities I've always taken from him are, it doesn't matter where the right answer comes from as long as you get the right answer. You know,
That's a good one.
He was big on that.
That might be quote of the day for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean,
Or for Saturday.
you know,
I'm a little too late for that.
you know, that's something I always took from him is, you know, I think sometimes coaches they feel like the answer's got to come from them, or they want the credit, or whatever the case is. But
Right.
you know, Coach was big on, like, doesn't matter where we get the right answer, we just need to find it.
So let's talk about the perfect seasons. 35-0?
My junior year, 04 was 35-0. Yeah.
Damn.
Man. Wow. Let's get into that. I mean, there's obviously pressure.
Yeah, there's a ton of pressure. I mean, the year before we went 33-1. We had dropped one on spring break, team from Arizona.
Yeah.
And so then we kind of finished that off. And then it was kind of like, what's the next year going to be like? And early in the year, we had a lot of barn burners. And then we kind of got going in the middle. And then the playoff run was tough, too. Like, the second round, Silmar jumped up on us in the first, and we came back.
Shout out to Ray.
Yeah. And then Kennedy had a 7-0 in the semis at Birmingham.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, 34-0 season?
Yeah.
Was that
So
at
we
Birmingham?
were, we were, you know, defending national champs, ranked number 1 in the country again.
We were there. We were working the gig for you guys.
Yeah.
We were selling tickets for you guys. I remember that.
Yeah. And that's where, you know, when I talk about that belief, like,
Yeah.
even down 7-0, get no hit through 4 innings off a guy that ended up being a draft guy.
Who was that?
Williamson, the lefty from Kennedy.
Oh, yes. Fabian.
Yeah.
Fabian.
Yeah. You know,
shit.
nothing going right, and just that belief, and
Okay.
rolling a few big numbers and coming back. I think we ended up winning that game like 10-7.
Down 7-0.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, not too long ago,
Man.
we had a conversation with somebody that played with from Eastburn and all that you guys practice coming back. Is that like you guys practice from being down to coming back?
Yeah, like I said, like the preparation, like there wasn't anything that was ever going to come up in a game that we already had in practice and gone over and
Right.
and worked on.
Man.
That's the second person that said that. So, you know what? I'm starting to believe this even more and more. And I'm going and it's like, damn, imagine, like, I would never thought practice going down. We don't want to go down.
Right.
But you know what? Eventually, I guess you are. So you might as well practice it, be prepared for what it does.
Right.
And it's like, damn, like, I never thought that.
So there was pressure there. I mean, there had to be.
Yeah, no, there's a ton of pressure.
Right. I mean,
You know,
35-0. I mean, you
And
know.
it's got to the point, like, you know, what the previous group, the standard they'd set.
Yeah.
Your next, like the next group, like you didn't
Yeah.
want to let that down. You kind of
Right.
wanted to keep it going or take it to a new height.
I mean, we're 19-10 right now with a tie, and I think that's like a great season. Like, yeah, man. Like, hey, we're 19-10.
We were 19-10 at Calabasas. Like, yeah, man,
Let's go. Hey, we got 10 losses. I mean, hey, boys. Hey, 19-10. Hey, what's the big deal here?
Yeah.
Man,
Well, that's why
I wanted 35-0.
Well, 35-0, that's why that's so amazing. You know, like, because, dude, that's, ain't nobody
I would have
replicate that
retired
again.
there. I would have been like, all right, boys, like we're good.
Yeah.
Like, great job. Best
Yeah.
banquet ever. Cool, I'm out. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome.
No, yeah, that's where. But now, like going through that as a player, going, and now you said you're all these years of coaching, and it got you to be able to be at Calabasas. And how do you approach coaching? Like, how is it that you go by day, or like you're to be ready to go and be like, you know what, I'm not a player, but we got to treat this like if we're like, how do I get my players to be able to go out there and be like, you know what, you guys got to follow my footsteps the way you guys did, like preparing your players, not in a player aspect, but in a coach's aspect now.
Yeah, I think it's a little different now. I think I've learned, like, you have to learn your group for each year, because
That's huge.
each group is going to require a different set of things. Like, I was talking with our hitting coaches the other day, and I'm like, it's so funny. Like, every year, our BP rounds will end up being different because it'll just, our group and what we need to work on, or our strength, like, it'll just lead us in a different direction. It isn't practice really, even practice changes a lot year to year, just fitting the group that we have and what their needs are going to be.
Well, I mean, everyone's body's different. You know what I mean? Not everyone swings the same, and not. I mean, you could preach like, "Hey, whatever you preach, get on top or get to the bottom inside, whatever it is." You know, but everyone's body, everyone's swing is different. Just like the pitching, it's like, well, I mean, everyone throws from here or from down here, whatever it is. I mean, from myself, it's been, like year by year, it's just the kids that come in or the kids that are coming from JV, the kids that come in, I mean, we normally don't have an idea who comes in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but when they do come in, it's like, are you prepared? Are you like, where did you play, first of all? I mean, and did you play organized baseball? I think that's huge. Because they got to play organized baseball coming into any high school, especially a powerhouse high school. So I can only imagine, like, back then, walking into Chatsworth.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I remember just being petrified as a freshman trying to go in there. Luckily, I could play some better sometimes when I was nervous because, obviously big shoes, a lot of talent. You feel like you got to perform. Or there's definitely other guys.
Jason Dominguez, Matt Dominguez, Mike Mustakas.
Yeah, Willie
Cabrera. We can go on.
Justin Castle. I mean,
the Castle brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys were really good.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. So you're at Calabasas, and you coached there, then you stepped down.
Yeah.
Right, and then you decided to go back. Right. What made you go back?
I think when I stepped down, I was struggling with a lot of things. After, I was at the Las Vegas shooting. And so for a couple years, I was really struggling with some certain things and definitely just kind of went through a dark depression. And, I had set a standard for myself and my players deserve a certain level of me. And I wasn't able to provide that at that time. So I needed to take a step back. I also knew that I was still a pretty young guy and I loved baseball. And I felt like if I kept trying to push through, I was going to end up hating it and walk away and probably not come back. So giving myself the break. The golf thing was fun. It was really important to come back, and I came back as just the pitching coach for 2 years under Coach Court, and that really let me see things from a different side. And then, when he decided to move over to St. Francis, I talked it over with the wife, and it really seemed like it was fitting. Yeah. It was time to kind of get back into it, and it was really kind of like a full circle moment for me too. Having gone through everything and then battling back and getting back to that spot.
Well, props to you, man, for doing that. And not a lot of guys out there would, even admit it or, even be able to do that. I mean, you witnessed something very devastating and, came back and, you're doing a great job with your coaching staff there. Shout out to them.
Yeah. No, I tell people all the time, if I had to do it by myself, we wouldn't be very good. Right? So, in this current staff that I have, like, I really appreciate them. I really feel like they've really allowed me to be the head coach. They fill their roles so well that, I've really been able to manage it and not have to do some of the more hands-on things all the time. Yeah. And the roles have been really defined, and that really has had a lot to do with our success.
Yeah, no, that's that goes with in all levels too. Like when you're, like we always say with the Braves, right? It takes a village to really have a successful program. And it's like you got to trust your other guys as well as the other guys got to trust their head coach, right? And that's where having a good staff, you allow each other to play each other's rules, right? It's like what these in professionals, like basketball, right? Or your role, get your bunt down. Yeah. Or these things as players, it happens as coaches too. And once you accept your role and you want to be great at that role,
Yeah.
then you'll flourish, right? And I think that's where it's like, but like you started as a pitching coach right on the court there, and then now you took that coaching job. What roles is it? Like how much of a bigger role did you have to take on, or was it just like, oh, it was kind of the same feeling?
I mean, obviously, it's a lot more. You're overseeing, all 3 levels completely. I had identified some things that I wanted to bring back in that I thought were important. I think everyone plays a million club baseball games now, but I think there's some certain things lacking at times. So, some of the things I focus on now is I feel like guys come in and they might know how to play a little bit, but they don't know how to compete.
Right.
So kind of steal Pete Carroll's. So in the off season, we have competition Wednesday. So every Wednesday in the off season, whether it's baseball part of baseball practice or conditioning, everything we do has got some kind of competition based on.
That's awesome.
For the conditioning, we create teams each month. We keep score. The winning team gets something at the end of the month. I really think that guys have to learn how to compete, and I think that's extremely important. So I think that's been a big part of our success coming back into that, building that mentality and teaching guys how to compete.
Yeah, man. I remember playing as a kid growing up, relay races. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Who remember going to the baseball and go get to the other baseball and back, go to the other baseball and back, and then go, and the winner has to pick up the stuff, or the loser has to pick up the stuff, the winner doesn't. As crazy as it sounds, but those little things right there matter. Like, you compete, you start becoming dogs, and like you make each other better at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, just the other day we went situational hitting with our 13-year-olds at Birmingham under the lights, and it was one of those where, you situational hitting 2 teams, and we're just hitting baseball with no shaggers. Losing team, go pick up the baseballs, clean it up.
Yeah.
So obviously they don't want to lose.
Yeah.
No one wants to lose.
Yeah, you got to build that in.
Yeah, so that's awesome, man. So Calabasas 2023 state champ. You go out and win state.
On the Birmingham field.
Oh, that was game 1. That was game one. That was game 1.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was game 1. Then you guys, I don't know, what is it? 3 games to win it all?
Yeah.
3
3 games in 1 week.
Yes.
That's right. I do remember that.
We just got our paperwork for next Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I believe. So,
Damn.
yeah. So how was that? I mean, let's get into that.
Yeah, obviously, like the regionals kind of it's a newer thing. I think
A lot of guys are not a fan of.
Yeah, I mean, there's some opt-outs.
Yeah.
In Division II last year, Crespi stayed in, and then you guys stayed in. So the champions in our division were in it. We had a long layoff. Like we lose the CIF Division II semi, and the regional wasn't for 2 weeks from the date of that game.
Right.
So I gave them some time off, kind of eased back into practice, and the environment in that Birmingham game I thought was kind of interesting. It was kind of like you guys are 2 days off of your championship.
Yeah.
Obviously an emotional one for you guys too.
Yeah.
We're kind of like, what is this? We get through the game, we win the game.
Felt like a winter ball game.
Yeah, very kind of quiet.
Yeah.
And then we had the rematch with South Hills, who had knocked us out. And even the first half of that game was kind of, and then once we were in the game with the lead halfway through, like in the middle of that game, there was like a switch of like, hey, we close this out, we get our revenge, and then we get to go play for a championship. So that kind of switched, and then the final was super intense, like you would imagine a championship game.
That was down in San Diego?
Down in San Diego, 1-0 in 8 innings, like
Wow.
barn burner. I think if I won a CIF title, I don't think our team would be joining the regional. But anytime that you have an opportunity to win some kind of championship, especially in Southern California, I think there's a lot to it. I would be curious. I know it's late in the year. I'd be curious if they added a full state game to it after that, if that would make people more interested.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of those sections, like if you go win Southern Section Division I, like
No thanks.
I don't think you'll ever see the winner of that go join the regional.
I'm good. I mean, we were there last weekend.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
That guy from Corona, that lefty. I mean, he was pretty impressive.
Yeah, he looked unbelievable on TV.
He did. It looked like we were live.
Yeah.
I
No,
bet.
it was just like all the antics though.
Yeah.
But it's like, I haven't seen that in so long.
Right.
And then being that confident and to have that swagger, it's like I call it the lefty swagger. Like he was out there like being a lefty.
Yeah.
He was good. I mean, he was really good. You know, but yeah, I mean, shout out to them. They took care of business, and they opted out from the state. I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, they won the NHI.
Yeah,
North
they won
Carolina.
they won North Carolina.
That.
They won CIF. It's like, what more do I have to prove to you
Yeah.
guys that we're the best team in the country? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they probably are. I mean, obviously, things came together with them, with Hernandez joining school and the transfers, but you still got to go out and prove it and do it. And I mean, if you look at them along the way, man, they won a lot of close games. It wasn't like they blew the doors off.
Well, they hit a home run every single playoff game, and we get to. I mean, Lira was there with me on Saturday at Lake Elsinore.
Got crushed that ball.
Yeah, and I'm like, no one's gonna hit it out here. There's no way. I mean,
over the
you know,
big wall too.
I was like, there's no way.
way.
No one's gonna hit it out. Seth went like deep left. I was like, nope, that one's staying in the yard.
Yeah.
And then there was that one pitch. Just that ball was gone.
Yeah.
It was crushed.
The ball was crushed. So yeah, man. We got Banning versus North Hollywood, Division 1, and then you got Birmingham versus Bell High School. Did you ever play Bell when you were in high school? It must have been good. No.
I
No?
don't remember playing.
Come on, man.
We didn't play a ton of teams over the hill. I mean, we played San Pedro in the final in 04, Carson in the final in 03.
See, those guys are always powerhouses.
Yeah.
Man.
Southgate was a semi in 05, I think.
Wow.
Banning was a semi in 03. Yeah. So,
So
I mean,
back then, city final. I think we probably played the last one at night.
Yeah, the 03 and 04 were at night, and 05 was the first day.
The first 05 was the first city title
During the day.
during the day at 1 p.m. on that Saturday.
Why they change that?
I don't know.
Want to pay for the lights.
We got to bring it back on. I mean, we should bring it back under the lights.
Can we?
It also was the night games were during the week. They weren't Saturdays.
Oh really?
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, we had school those days.
At Dodger Stadium though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn, school those days,
Yeah.
especially back then. You don't get out of school till like June 14, June 13,
Yeah,
right?
that was a
Like,
real summer break. Yeah,
That
that's
was-
awesome, man. Go ahead, Lyra. You want to ask away?
yeah. So
Take a drink.
So like what can you say is the difference between winning the city championship and then the national championship as a player, and then now going and winning the state championship
Damn, so
as
you
a
got
coach?
you got a city, state, and a natty.
Yeah.
Man,
Not many people can say that.
not many.
Yeah, I mean,
Not many.
I think it's always sweetest as a player, like you're on the field, like you earn it, like, you know.
So what you're telling me, I shouldn't go Saturday?
No, I mean, it's still pretty sweet as a coach, but
All right,
you
you
know,
know what?
as a player,
I'm gonna coach
you
my
know,
Braves instead.
Well, but here's the thing, though, is he won it as a player, right? So
Oh,
he
yeah.
knows that
Oh, yeah.
feeling. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet as a player. You know, as a coach, really happy that my players had that opportunity to experience that. You know, a lot of the reason I coach is because of like the people that coached me and what they passed along to me, and I just like passing that along and
Yeah.
paying it forward. And I tell the guys all the time, like each year, this is the only time the team will be constructed in this way, and this is your
Right.
opportunity to maximize that. And you know, your playing career in high school is only 4 years. I hope to coach a long time. I'm gonna have in my staff. We're gonna have other opportunities. Like
Yeah.
we need to maximize this for you. And
Yeah.
you know, so that's just kind of like our mindset on that.
Okay, because it's true. Because you go through, players don't realize this. Some of the coaches gonna stay there, and they're gonna have an upper opportunity to try to get another city championship. You may not, right? So like
Yeah.
when you're saying that this team might not be constructed like this next year, but when you do have a lot of the returners coming back, let's say juniors or sophomores, like a Bell, right? They have a lot of young guys, like Carson last year when they had a lot of guys that came back. Do you treat those the same way, or do you say, you know what, we got to change this up, and even though we have the same guys?
You know, I think it's difficult. I think you got to maximize when you get that opportunity. You never know what team is going to get there. It's really hard to win, and so many things go into it. Interesting calls, bad bounces, breaks a certain way.
Oh, we got to talk about that too.
So you just never know. Like, you know, to get there and be like, well, we came up a little short, but like we're gonna get back next year. Like you don't know that.
Yeah.
Like when we lost in the semis last year, I went home and my wife's like, what's the deal? Like this team went way farther than you thought they were. And I was like, yeah, but at the end of the day, I could have really good teams for 20 more years and never get back to that point.
Yes.
Because it's so hard to get to that. And so you feel like when you get to that part, and you create that opportunity for yourself, you need to try and maximize and cash in on
I agree.
it. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, it's, just today at practice, we're taking ground balls and going our defensive stuff, and I'm looking around like, man, some of these kids know what it takes, to go out on Saturday and possibly, going back to back, and some of these kids have never been. So as a coach, you preach like, you guys have been there, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, you guys know what it takes. But the ones that haven't been there, it's like, okay, you almost have to guide them. Like, hey, man, look, if you get in there, go pinch around or I don't know, pinch hit. It could be a big stage for some of these kids, man.
For sure. You never know how they're going to react.
I mean, Carson returned 19 seniors. 19 seniors from last year, and I still think they were really good. I mean, that was a tough lineup. Every single guy was a tough out. And I'm calling pitches like, I'm talking to a walkie, like, step off.
Not sure yet.
Not sure yet. You know what? Put them on.
Yeah.
No, and trying to maximize the opportunity of that all, right? But, like, how can you make it easy? And this can be for both of you guys. How can you make it easy at that level for them to try to get through it? Because you already know it comes with a lot of pressure, right?
Yeah.
So, like, how can we ease the guys to try to get through it without feeling so much pressure of just being like, it's another game?
Go ahead.
I think that goes back to the preparation talk and the tempo that you practice with and creating that.
Yeah.
Coach Musburn used to always talk like you got to practice at game speed, and obviously, it's never the same. But the closer you get to it, and the more often you create that environment for your players to be in, the more inclined they are going to be to not let the moment get too big when they get in the game.
Yeah. Like another example today, we're going over relays and fly ball communication priority, and I blast the music loud, just as loud as I can, and school's in session. I'm like, oh shoot, like, yeah, I'm like, oh man, but I mean, I'm willing to take that phone call or skipper is, and told the guys like, hey, look, they're gonna bring a crowd this weekend, maybe all of LA's coming, so you gotta be ready when the ball's hitting the gap, double cuts, and you guys can't hear or throw your hands, whatever it is. And it goes back to the preparation of that. Like, we almost have to prepare like we're there, like it's happening, because come game time, it might happen or it might not. But, I mean, I can at least say we prepared you guys.
Yeah. And then also for, like, as an experience, winning the city championship at Dodger Stadium, when you go out there and then, as a player, you hear all the – because let's say Birmingham, 2014, right? It's the first time we've been there in so long. Then you go, you have a bunch of crowd. Everyone's screaming. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Like, the best way I can give the advice to the players is try to find the moment or try to find something that can get you to just block out that noise and tunnel vision in, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you start hearing the noise, you start going, and then you don't know how to slow it down and then focus on what you need to do, right? So, like, as an ex-player, to be able to do that is guys out there, especially with Birmingham, is – go out there and slow the moment down for you. Like, like try to block it out, breathe, because your heart rate's going to race no matter what. You're going to feel that excitement. You're going to feel that adrenaline. But how can you bring that down to be like, all right, let's go. This is another game, right? And as coaches, that also happens. Like,
100%.
You're like, whoa, you're pumped up. You're ready to go. But then you're like, whoa. We got to calm down. We got to realize, because right now we may be feeling it, but those players are feeling it even more.
Absolutely. I mean, Carson had I was looking at a video a couple hours ago. We our catcher walked, I think, 1 out this past Tuesday, and then our left fielder goes ground ball to short, right at him, boom, throws it at the second baseman off his knee. Next pitch, next guy, boom, triple. Yeah, I know. I'm like, wow, off his knee. Like, not even off the bag, not even like, bang, bang play. No, it was a 6-4-3 out of the inning. And like he said, like, it's just, sometimes you got to get lucky. You really do. I mean, bad bounce, a bad hop, or whatever it is, So Chevy talked about that, our first episode. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy because when we talked about I never thought about it, right? Like the bad bounce or even the play, the field, how much that can be effective or how much that can even play in a factor. But then when you go in there, you realize like, damn, he really mentioned that. Now you think about it, because now you go to games thinking that. And when Gus texted me, he's like, "Dog, I gotta talk to you. This is on my way to go watch Harvard Westlake and Corona." He's like, "Dude, that one bad bounce.
Yeah.
It looked like a home run. Everyone everybody at Moore Park thought, or it was Moore Park, right?
Yeah.
That thought it was a home run. But
Did
then
you see that video?
Yeah, a couple times.
But that's the thing though, right? It's like
mean,
it looked like it.
I'm blind, as you can see.
No.
I don't know. I mean, I keep hearing, and then Sandy, his feed on Twitter is like, he put pictures up, and I'm still looking at it like, I don't know, did that bounce? Did that not? I mean,
I mean, also like the videos and the different angles, like the ball looks in like completely different positions
And it
because
was
just
dark
depending
over
on
there.
Sug was there. He
was there.
seemed to think that he heard a sound. He thinks it hit that, like how the foul pole comes
Yeah,
out. He thinks it hit that and went straight down, bounced on the warning track and over. So I don't think we'll ever know.
well, yeah, it might be one of those where we'll never know.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's a bang bang call, right? Like
Well, I mean, even for Moore Park, the inning before, the ball, that triple should have gone down to the corner, bounces off the umpire right to the hard second baseman, throw him out at the plate.
wow.
And that's a bang bang play at the plate. Like,
Yes, you're right.
could have got a call there. Ball could have missed the umpire.
You just
There-
never
yeah.
know.
Well, that's but you can't really prepare for things like that. You know what I mean? Like it's hard.
can't.
It's hard. It's just what
Yeah.
happens and how you roll with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just the building in the poise and the competitiveness and being able to handle adversity when it comes up.
Yeah. Well, that's
Man, shout out to Sugi and your coaching staff out there.
Yeah,
That's
these
my
guys
guy.
are awesome.
Yeah, shout out to them. Yeah, man. So Calabasas, I mean, how do you manage both from being the AD and the head coach? I mean, obviously your coaching staff has a huge role in it, I'm sure.
For sure. This is the first year with the AD thing, so definitely a transition process. Those guys stepped up huge, especially in the fall as I was kind of figuring it all out, and even in the spring, like getting the field ready,
Yeah.
managing those kinds of things while down below doing all that stuff. It's definitely a process for me. I remember early going over, trying to get ready to go over for a game at El Camino. Like I got on the bus and my head was still spinning on like 3 AD things and just not being in the right frame of mind. So I just had to get to the point where like, and my admin super supportive on it, where like it just got to a certain time each game day and it was like, I'm going to kind of check out on,
Yeah.
get as much done in the morning and then like lock in on baseball. And kind of as the season went on, I got better and better at that. But definitely a process, definitely a challenge. And huge shout out to my staff, because without that, it wouldn't work. I wouldn't be able to do both.
I bet. I mean, you got to make football games, basketball. You got to be there, right? In the fall?
So supervision. I did it in the fall. Football, tennis, volleyball, all of that. In the winter, we got someone else to do it because I was actually out for a while in the winter too, because my wife and I had a baby.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. So we were in the middle of all that too. So again, another point where, I was out of practice 3 weeks, missing winter games, and we didn't skip a beat because, those 3 other varsity coaches, Sugi, Cody Raymer, and Paul Giacomazzi, stepped in. And
What a staff.
yeah, we talk about it all the time. Like if anyone's missing, it's still business as usual. And
Yeah.
any one of those 3 guys is capable of running the team and doing what they need to do.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, that's dude, being an AD and then a head coach, like that's because you're really a head coach of other things as well, right? But just administration of doing that of the school. So it's like for them to to give you that option and then you take it. Like, how did it feel to be like, damn, I can do this? To be like, yeah, I want to do that.
When the opportunity was first presented to me last year, I was definitely a little hesitant. The district stepped up and made the position full time, so I'm not teaching anymore, which makes it more doable. And then the administration of my school has been awesome. Our principal, Mr. Watke, and our AP of athletics, Mr. Lee, have been great, super supportive, and really helped me balance it all and given me the opportunity to balance it all. by picking up the slack when I need to be a little more focused on
Yeah.
baseball. So, I mean, between my staff and the administration, that's what's really made it be able to work. And my wife being okay with the sacrifice of me being gone even more, and her still working full time and managing the 2 kids. So obviously a huge shout out goes to her as well.
Nice.
Yeah, no, families are everything. That's what I'm saying. You have your baseball family, and then you have your family at home and all that, and then she has to be okay with it, right? Because that's we all know that's the
Absolutely.
there'll be times where you might not even get home and all that. Like,
Hey man, yeah,
You know,
I got my own. Shout out to the wife out there and kids. I mean, I shout them out every episode.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, we're gone like almost all day, every day, you know. And yeah, go pick up the kids, go do that, go do this, you know, dinner, laundry. It's not easy, man. It's definitely not easy.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, man. That's awesome. So, you guys are in a tough league.
Yeah.
Right? You guys got, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you got Agura, you got Westlake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were good this year.
Yeah.
They were really good this
They
year.
were,
I think that was game 3 for us. We had no chance.
oh, they're talking about the arms, right?
yeah.
everything.
Yeah. I mean, it was like,
They're huge too.
step off. Yeah, they were huge. Where'd you guys end up in league this year?
We ended up second place. We were 10-5.
Wow.
We won the only series we dropped. We dropped 2 out of 3 against Oaks. We swept TO, and then we took 2 out of 3 from everybody else. So, you know, you never know how a year's going to play out. We ended up second in the league, 10-5. Last 2 years, we had league titles at 9-6. So,
Damn.
you know, obviously, guys stepped up and did a really nice job. And the Westlake week was fun.
You can't go 15-0?
Not in that league. I mean, you saw how good Westlake was, and they were 12-3. So
12-3. Oaks Christians in your league, too, right?
yeah,
Man, that's a tough league, man. Shout out to those guys.
yeah, it's fun. The 3-game series are fun.
Okay. Oh yeah, we have that now. We brought it back. But we go 1-1-1, play everybody once, and then we go 2-2-2-2.
Okay, yeah, we're like the Mission League. We're all in 1 week: Tuesday,
Oh.
Thursday, Friday. Yeah, it's a grind, but it's fun.
Some great reports, huh?
Yeah,
That's like college.
By
College-
third game,
college
it's like, hey, step off. Hey, this way.
yeah, you got a lot of info. By that.
Yeah, by game 2, you have a lot of info.
I don't know if you got anybody left that can execute it, but
exactly. Man, so Westlake, they made it pretty far, didn't they?
they got to the D2 quarters. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Shoot. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, it's Calabasas, 2023 state champ, natty, city champ.
That's what you call a resume. Like, you did it all
And a
levels
AD.
right now. And an AD
And
now.
a AD.
So, you know, he's going to have to take credit, too, if the other sports win.
Yeah, he's got to be there. Has got the trophy,
Right?
taking
And
pictures,
he's
shaking
part
hands.
Of that. He's part of that.
Yeah, winners
Nah.
win.
Yeah. So, so going back to playing, that was 2003, 4, and 5.
yeah.
And now it's 2024. That's a long time, right?
That's a really
not
long
to
time.
not to make us feel old. Not to make us feel old or anything, but just to know that the styles of coaching has changed a lot over 20
had
years,
to.
22
Yep.
years, right?
Totally.
It had to.
Yeah.
But what would you say is like, has coaching changed from when you had Museborn to you being at Harvard Westlake and doing that to now at Calabasas and doing that? How is the over years coaching
golf.
changed? Or,
Yeah,
oh,
to
can't forget
golf, yeah,
golf.
don't-
To golf.
Don't forget about
Can't forget golf. Yeah.
I mean, it's changed a lot. I think players need more information. They need more communication. They need more explanation. You know, if coach told me to do something, I said okay, and I went and did it. Like, guys today, I mean, and not that there's anything wrong with it. I think they're a little more curious. They want a little more information, a little more
Yeah.
detailed.
Yeah.
I think, you know, the individual relationship that you have with the players is important. I think, you know, to really get the most out of your guys, they need to know that you care about them individually first and not just to help win baseball games.
Right.
I think that's important. You know, I had this talk with Coach Museborn during the winter when we were playing them, and it was like, you know, he had said it, and I agreed with it, that, you know, we knew he cared about us because he coached us hard. He developed us. He got us better as baseball players. He was teaching us to be a man, and that was just part of it. We knew he cared. We're like, you got to say more of those things and like show that to players now. Like they need that affirmation.
They do.
You know, especially in this transfer heavy world, bounce around. Like, these guys are seeing the college guys bounce around. I had a guy graduate last year. He's like, he's committed to a D3, and he's like, oh, I'll just be there for a year, and then I'm gonna go off, and I'll be in the portal. And I'm like, what?
No way.
So like, it's just, but that's like their thought process, because that's what they're hearing about and seeing in the news, and like,
social media.
Exactly. Like, well, I think kids love the portal because they love the attention of the recruiting.
True.
They'll just go in there like, oh.
Yeah, back in the days, it was like you're going Chatsworth and you're staying at Chatsworth.
Yeah.
I mean,
My sophomore year, I started the first half of the year, struggled a little bit, lost my job the second half. I thought I was winning the job. The next year, my individual meeting, he was like, no, we're going to go with defense, the other guy. I went home and I was like, Mom, what am I going to do? She's like, well, you're not transferring, so you better go compete and figure it out and win the job, which is what I was able to go back and do. But like, if that happens now, it's like, coach is wrong. We'll find someone else.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a different day and age.
It is. It really is. I mean, it's tough. I mean, we talked about it with Mondo, with Cerna, and with Chev. I mean, we brought in 2 city section coaches. We brought in 2 southern section coaches. Well, shout out to us for doing that.
I know. Right?
That was kind of hard to do. But yeah, it's, there's lessons nowadays. There's obviously all kinds of stuff. I mean, we call pitches on PitchCom now. Yeah. Like we put a walkie-talkie in,
How'd you like that?
I kind of like it. I mean, obviously we have a young catcher at Birmingham, and, he's a sophomore, and guiding him, a little bit like go call time and, careful here, careful there, my button here, whatever it is. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. You guys have it?
Yeah. Yeah, it took me a little bit to get used to, but now once I got used to it, I really liked it.
Right. I mean, back pocket. They're like, no more of this, no more number system. So it's cool. I mean, you call pitches that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean.
The next change is going to be where everyone has a PitchCom.
I'm pretty sure the watches are coming.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of we're just a few years behind college usually. Exactly. That's kind of that path.
Yeah. Shout out to our sponsor.
Braves Baseball Academy.
Braves Baseball Academy. Our first sponsor. We're trying to get sponsors.
Nice.
Shout out to Eric Figueroa. Did our backdrop, did our tablecloth, does all our Birmingham stuff, warning track. So if you need any kind of stuff, let me know.
Good to know. Yeah.
He's amazing. He did all our banners and all that good stuff. So shout out to Eric. Shout out to the fam out there. Love you guys. And happy Memorial Weekend. 3-day weekend. Big travel ball weekend.
I was saying that just means club for you, man.
Yeah, that's club ball. Well, I got a city final I got to go to on Saturday.
Got that too, I guess. Yeah.
I got a city final, and then but Jeremy out there.
Yeah, we got 11 U teams. 11 teams playing this weekend.
11 teams playing this weekend. Oof, yeah.
We managed to be able to arrange times to where everyone can go to Dodger Stadium and support. You know what I mean? So,
very cool.
Heads up, go out there and support. Not just Birmingham, but the game. Especially go out there if you want to get there early. Go out there, watch. Who is it? Who's on the North Hollywood and Banning, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna come out with big crowds and get ready to go. So
you have a couple players that have gone on to play college baseball.
Yep.
One of them's Jordan Kingston. He's graduating this year.
Yeah, he just finished up. He's going to San Diego State.
Brave alumni.
Ooh.
Nice.
Brave alumni. See,
okay.
Not everyone comes over. You guys go wherever you want.
Yeah.
Jordan Kingston, shout out to him, man. Yeah. He's always been a big boy. He's always been a big boy, threw the ball hard, so finally figured it out, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable career for us. I mean, 4-time.
Your ace?
Yeah. 4-time first team All Marmani guy, was really led us to that regional title last year. I mean, his 2 playoff outings, and then he threw 10 innings of 1-run ball in the regional that week, and I mean, unbelievable. And then I was kind of like, oh, is he gonna be a little bored this year? Like, and then we got to league play, and he just took it to a different level. He was the only pitcher in our league that went 5-0 that beat all the other teams.
Oh wow.
Yeah, co-pitcher of the year in the league, and just flat out dominant. And I can honestly say it got better each year.
That's awesome. You guys, little brother coming in?
Yeah. the Kingston train keeps coming. Love it.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Who else? Who else was there a couple years ago? Center fielder.
No, we got Phoenix. Phoenix calls over at UCLA.
Okay.
His brother Chase is over at UC Irvine.
Got it.
Second baseman from last year, Tyler Schulman's at Harvard.
Man.
So that's always good to see. Shortstop from this year, Nate Castellan's going
He
to Cal
was another
Poly.
good one.
Yeah, he won league MVP. He hit exactly 500 on the year. Then
Not a lot of guys do that.
no 5'11" in league. Yeah, I mean he super impressive. And then,
I know one guy that did that. Bryce Rayner.
yeah.
Man, that's great. What was that? Man, Levine, where did he go? No, center fielder a couple years ago. Fullerton, maybe you came back to Valley.
For us?
Yeah. No? Does it ring a bell? Pitcher, maybe? I don't know. I remember. I don't know. No?
Drawing blank.
Drawing blank? All right. It's all good.
The years start to blur together.
So many athletes I go through there.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, no, it's been good. We've been on a good run of being able to have guys go play at the next level. And I mean, that's one of the coolest things for me is waking up on Saturdays and flipping on ESPN Plus and just flipping around watching our guys play college baseball. Like,
Man, that's awesome.
yeah, a couple guys in Pro Bowl now, and so it's been cool.
Yeah, I mean, we asked Chevy the same thing. He had a couple guys there. You know, not only do you get to coach guys, but you also get to play against guys that are going to the next level.
Oh yeah.
You know, so that should be fun too. I mean, fun, not fun.
Yeah, it's like I remember like Max Muncy, like should we just walk him with the bases loaded?
Yeah, go give up one run
One's
instead of four.
one's better than four, man.
Exactly. Max, yeah, that was a great team. Thousand Oaks.
That TO team was
We
good.
played them at Birmingham. I don't know why. At night too. I don't know
Max
why.
Muncy
we
went to
played.
Thousand Oaks.
No, to my Max Muncy. A couple years ago. What was it? 2 years ago?
Yeah, he's already in like AAA with A's. He was
Rock Regio.
21, I think, draft class,
Yeah.
first rounder out of there.
Yeah, Rock Regio. What's his name for the Pirates? That played for the Pirates. The coach's name for TO.
Jack Wilson.
Jack Wilson and his son. He was there.
Yeah, he ended up first rounder. He's in AA with A's.
Out of GCU.
Yeah.
Oh wow, good for him.
Wow.
Man, that's awesome.
No.
That's awesome, man. You have some good coaches. You know, Coach Hattie, Coach Tom Musborn. I mean, those guys were. You know, shoot.
Yeah.
Was the core your coach too?
No, I never played for, but obviously I had the opportunity to work under him for 4 years at Harvard,
Yeah.
which was obviously
Yeah.
huge. I mean, Coach Hattie, he was the man. I mean,
He was, man.
even for
I'm sure.
a few years after I graduated, him and I would go to lunch a handful of times a year and stay in touch. And just such a special person. And
Yeah.
with Coach Musborn, everything I learned and the mentalities and just, I'm blessed to have a great father, but, he also had a huge hand in helping me learn how to be a man and, having the opportunity to work under Matt. I mean, if Coach Musborn's 1A, then Matt's 1B. I mean, it's right there.
Right.
His management skills and the way that he runs a program and evaluates things, he's second it done as well. And, I mean, you see both those guys, all the guys that have come out from under them, coaches, and the success they've had. I mean,
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Some of those kids are in good hands.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. All those kids are in good hands. They're with the. That's awesome, man. Shout out to them.
Yeah. So I know we're winding down too as well. So we want to add in a segment that we're adding in at the end.
You can ask it, or you want to ask?
No, you can ask them.
All right, man. This is gonna be rapid questions.
Rapid
You ready?
questions.
All right.
That's a new
Let's
segment.
do it.
Rapid
All right,
questions.
let's see. You ready?
yeah,
All right, let's go. Dodgers, Giants.
Giants,
Oh, Lakers, Clippers.
Clippers.
DH or no DH?
I originally would have said no DH, but I'm coming around on it. But I'm more old school, yeah.
Okay. Time clock or no time clock?
No time clock,
Pitch count or pitch count?
no pitch.
So you're just the opposite of what the new day of baseball is, huh?
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy to see this. I went to a Dodger game the other day, 12 p.m. I was like, 12 p.m. game? Oh, hey, man, Birmingham practice. Sorry, I won't be there. It was done by 2.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, it was done by 2 o'clock. I was like, I have an hour to kill. It's going to take me an hour to get there. You know, I mean, it's the pitch calm. It's crazy. It's like, you know.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of good aspects. I think figuring out the pitcher's injuries and what if that has, you know, an effect. I mean, it is nice not having games linger for 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah. They got to bring it to the high school.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's one of the things that I love with is like we got in a really good rhythm, especially with Jordan. It was like go, go, go.
Right.
Especially if you have a guy that's pounding the zone, get really speed up hitters and have them, you know.
You don't go offensive timeout. You gotta go offensive.
You know, we don't. Sugi and I don't go as many offensive timeouts as somebody else, some of the other people from the tree. But we mix some in. We don't mix in the 35 pickoffs as much either.
Hey man,
That's awesome. Gotta get those guys in here.
Yeah,
Both of them
All at the same time.
at the same time. That would be a show. That would be awesome. But yeah, man, no, I agree. Pitch calm, pitch clock, bigger bases. I don't know what the hell's going on over there.
Well, I thought it was interesting. You know, high school baseball has got normal sized bases, and then they show up for the championship game and they're playing with the big bases because it was a minor league stadium.
Shoot.
Oh, I didn't even.
I noticed that watching on TV. I'm like,
It's funny you say that. Now that I gotta
You gotta go back
ask some questions on over the weekend before the weekend starts.
for Saturday.
yeah, like you might be showing up to some big bases.
You're right.
And then I don't know if you guys saw the SEC tournament right now in baseball is using like a green, almost like a softball second base
No.
for baseball. It is. Check it out.
Wait, what? At second base?
No, at first
At
base.
first base, like the
Oh
softball
yeah,
one?
like the red and white.
It's green, but in softball normally it's like orange, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
green, but yeah, they're trying it out in the SEC tournament.
Oh,
But to what? Avoid people running into each other, or?
I think that, or I mean, in recent years, I mean, there was that huge play in the College World Series with Oklahoma, Ole Miss. That rule where like, if the guy gets in the way, he's out because he's inside, but he's running to the base and the base is inside. So I think that like the controversy of that coming up in big situations and big games has led people to.
Yeah, but like you would always. I mean, not to play first much, but you always were taught to be in front of the bag, not on the bag, right? So like that would always avoid a lot of that. Like if you would run into somebody's ankle or leg, you was on the inside of the bag as a runner. That's why people were always mad and fights would happen because you were taught to not be on top of the bag or the back of the bag as a first baseman. So like now you're going away where it's like
no, we got two bases.
no, we got.
Well, the crazy thing about that is, in the certain situation, if you step on the wrong base, it doesn't count. So if you're running down the line, like in the SEC tournament, you're running down the line, and it's a run through the base situation, infield ground ball, and you hit the white base instead of the green, you're out.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
So it's not on one base; it's two separate.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what more are you trying to add to the game? It's already
Yeah.
complicated as it is. Like you're
I
already
just
trying
think
to.
it's the day and age. Everyone always wants to tinker with everything constantly.
Yeah. You want to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, but it's just like let the game be the game. You know, that's why baseball. That's why baseball was such a great game, and they call it America's pastime because you can never change the game. Like, what rules are you going to change? Now it's like, okay, you can't hit the catcher.
Guys are getting
Okay,
tossed
cool.
nowadays, like in the first inning, because of whatever their glove has.
Yeah.
I know you saw that in the fourth. Oh yeah, it was the fourth inning when they
It was
caught
something like that. I mean,
where they
It was
threw them
early,
out.
yeah.
they're messing with their stats. I mean, seriously, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
It's pretty
no,
bad.
it's-
I mean, guys that I got a 15-year-old, and obviously, growing up to that, it's like, how do I explain it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, I'll still go to a Dodger game though.
Well,
Yeah.
of course.
Especially
No,
if it's free. I mean,
now,
come on.
yeah.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
pitch clock,
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, like the pitch clocks and everything, like it makes the game go faster. It also builds the atmosphere for you to be locked in, like because you can't wander anymore. Like before, you're able to go wander.
Well,
and
you got to
like,
get there feeling good about already.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, that and
you stand in
before-
line for 4 innings,
You're screwed.
You're,
Yeah.
you're done. That's why I didn't go.
Yeah, you missed half.
You missed
Yeah, like back then you could be there for 15, 20 minutes and still the first inning. Like you didn't really miss much. Now you stand there, you're like, well, where's the TV at? Those TVs matter now that you're in
Guys
line.
pound the
now.
zone nowadays. I mean,
Yeah.
the guys pound the zone. Guys chase pitches. Now they got the whole shift, so it's not a base hit. It's right at them. you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Well, episode 4, Baseball 4, Thomas Cassidy,
Yeah.
City, Natty, and State. We got you a little gift here, a little
appreciate
Braves
it.
Ball 4 snapback.
Appreciate it.
Yes,
This
sir,
is
man.
awesome. Really appreciate you guys having me on. This was a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, man. We're gonna do travel ball next month, I think,
Next
and then
month. Nice.
we're gonna do. I think we're gonna try and bring some umpires. Yeah, it's gonna get interesting here.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to have thick skin, like
Yes.
they don't have in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in their defense, it's harder than ever. You know, some
Yes, yeah.
bozo parents like, oh, look, I got the freeze frame on the stream. You blew this call. It's like, these dudes are coming out here so that our kids can play making $75. Like, leave them alone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like it's. I mean, city section. We talked about it with Polly. Sure enough. Our JV games, no umpires. Like no umps. Zero. And it's. I mean, I don't know what goes on, or I mean, sure, our skipper gets the call. Like, so we got coaches behind the mound, like ball, strike, out.
Yeah.
Talking about quick games, hour and a
Yeah.
half. You're out of there. But no, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. You know, we this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
We gotta, maybe bring it back in a couple months or something. Episode.
yeah, let me know.
Yeah. Talk about certain things different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See how the final goes on that one. Catch up on
Yeah,
that one.
good
too,
luck.
You know?
Thank you.
Bring it home. You going for what number for you?
6.
6?
Yeah.
Running out of fingers, man.
Stop it. Oh man! Shout out to our coaching staff out there, Braves Baseball Academy, Birmingham Baseball. Shout out to them. Our tournament directors, officials, or whatever, umpires, everyone out there.
Yeah.
You guys have a safe Memorial weekend. You can see I'm wearing my green hat.
I know.
All right. So, again, everyone, thank you so much for joining episode 4. It was a lot of fun with Thomas Cassidy. Till the next one.
Yes, sir. To the next one. See ya.